Hello.
Hi, Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. What a special opportunity I get. We've had Listening Lab for 3 years and I've never interviewed you.
Proud to be your guest.
This is my brother. So I see you're doing your every Eid, your ritual
It's true.
of what?
The delayed gratification of having the morning coffee that I normally have the moment that I wake up. I sort of fast a little bit longer until that first sip of hot coffee. Yeah, it hits different.
As long as I've known you, this has been, well, since you've been able to drink coffee, this has been what you do. You
It's
drink
true.
coffee. So, and I've lived out here in New York with you for 11 years now. And ever since I've lived here, you've brought me here to this mosque, to this place to have Eid prayer. And we've been doing it together for 11 years. What does it mean for you to come out and be in community, whether in Toledo, Ohio, or in New York City, and to be able to pray among everybody on their Eid?
It's emotional. It's you know, uh, you know that we grew up in a community where everybody knew us, and we did sort of somersaults in the prayer room. We grew up going to the same place over and over, and Eid was a special time for us to be in that place, but feel like a sort of sparkly. And being here in a moment like this sort of gives me that feeling again, and sort of reinvigorates the soul in a particular way. So it's really special. And just looking around at this community, it's an incredibly diverse community. There's nothing else. There's nothing else like it. I don't even mean like this particular community. I mean the Muslim community is like just a very uniquely diverse um, crew, and it's good to be out here.
Yeah. I think there's a few things that I was walking up to prayer today, and I'm not the most religious person, but you are right. That feeling of a feeling of belonging, a feeling of in this, particularly right now, where we are Palestinian, we are Muslim, and it feels a bit scary to just be.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you to be able to exist in this context, to be an American, right? We grew up holding these two identities. What
Yeah.
does it mean for you to be an American?
I think it's a tragic story, to be honest. As you know, like our grandparents and our grandfather in particular always bragged about having citizenship and having worked really hard to get it. And yet, I think toward the end of his life, it's become like a really difficult thing, a burden, this citizenship. And honestly, the story of us being and becoming Americans has been a story of loss and exile. It's a story of not having anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
And so this is what we've got.
This is what we
And so
got.
we make of it what we can. And I think there are a lot of other people here who are in that situation. And so, I mean, I take seriously what the Imam said today about belonging, this idea that sort of needing to suppress who you are at your core in order for others to accept you is just not the way
Not at all.
to get by. So that's also a nice thing about being
Yeah.
in a place like this one.
The last question I have is, you can flash it to the camera if you want. I see you're wearing a Zohran for New York City hat.
Yes.
I feel like, based on what I know about Zohran's campaign, he actually embodies a lot of the things you are talking about.
Totally.
And it's in particularly interesting you're wearing it today because Zohran is Muslim. So what does it mean for you to see somebody who is a Muslim and an immigrant running for the mayor of New York City?
I mean, I think, his identity is just a small part of what makes him unique. It helps, I think, anybody in that position who's sincere about that identity to connect with the experiences of people who have similar ones to him, to someone like him. But I think he really embodies the spirit that the Imam was talking about today, coming at the world from uh, the position of contribution rather than consumption, thinking about what you can build and what you can do, how you might create more houses for people to live in, how you might be able to provide childcare for children up to the age of 5, how you might make buses and public transportation free and fast for people who need it, providing basic resources to the people of the city because it's become a place that is unlivable for so many people who don't have the resources. I guarantee you a lot of the people who are here today used to live in New York and it became too expensive for them to live here and therefore have had to move out and have to commute in to just come and pray here. That shouldn't,
There goes your coffee.
yeah, I finished it as you can see.
Nice. Okay.
That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's why I'm so glad to see that he's out here running and that more and more people are supporting his
Yeah.
campaign.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, yes.
All right.
See you soon.
Let's see you soon.
See you in a
Bye.
sec.
Bye.